Football is back. The transfer window is open, pre-season has begun, and the clock is ticking for the Premier League season to begin. But four of the Premier League's 20 clubs will start their season a little bit earlier than anyone else, and today we'll talk about the first of those four, Aston Villa. They face Paris Saint-Germain in the UEFA Super Cup in Salzburg, a reward for winning the Europa League. The game is on Wednesday at 8 p.m. UK, 9 p.m. local, in the Red Bull Salzburg Stadium in Austria, and is on TNT Sports in the UK. PSG are now back-to-back European champions and won the Super Cup last season against English opposition, beating Spurs on penalties after a 2-2 draw. It will be a daunting task for Villa, as the Champions League winners won the last 7 Super Cups in a row. The last team to win the Europa League and then win the Super Cup was Atletico Madrid in 2018, who beat Real Madrid 4-2. In fact, Atletico have done it 3 times and are the only side to have done so since Zenit back in 2008. Real Madrid were back-to-back champions in 2016 and 2017. PSG will try to be the first team to do that since then. Being in games like this is the fruits of their consistent rise since 2019 when they got promoted, and in particular 2022 when Unai Emery became manager. He took the relegation battling side to Europe in his first season, and they've never been absent since. They reached the semi-final of the Europa Conference League in 23-24, the quarter-final of the Champions League after that, where they only narrowly got eliminated 5-4 by PSG, and of course they won the Europa League convincingly last season, winning 3-0, 7-1 and 4-1 in the knockout ties, and then beating Freiburg 3-0 in the final. Based on last season, there is no doubt that Villa deserve to be at the big boy table, but competing at it is different to just being there. This is the first game in trying to do so. PSG have transformed themselves too, previously being a club of Galacticos that couldn't get over the finishing line in Europe. They changed focus and won back-to-back Champions Leagues under Luis Enrique. That was a dominant campaign where they also won the league, French Super Cup, UEFA Super Cup, and FIFA Intercontinental Cup. PSG have kept most of the players from their Imperious squad last season, with the exceptions of Gonzalo Ramos and Lee Kang-in. Their big addition is Magnès Agliouch, the impressive Monaco midfielder. They've also bought in Luca Digne from Villa. In pre-season, they lost 3-0 away to Mallorca and drew 1-1 with Man United in Sweden. Villa have been on a more fleshed-out pre-season schedule. They beat Walsall 5-0 away, lost 2-1 at Porto, lost 4-2 against Real Sociedad in Walsall, won 3-1 away to an Indonesia All-Star team, won 3-1 away to BG Pathum United, and lost 2-1 to Bayern in Hong Kong. They've had a busy summer with Johan Manzambi and João Gomes coming in, plus Alejandro Garnacho on loan. But it's big shoes for them to fill in Youri Tielemans and Morgan Rogers. Now, for the team news, it's a funny one. The full senior PSG squad travelled to Austria, but players who went deep into the World Cup haven't played in pre-season. It's not sure whether Luis Enrique will want to use them for the full 90, and that's quite a lot for PSG. That's Barcola, Dembele, Doué, Fabian, Hakimi, Hernandez, and Zaire Emery. Now, Villa haven't produced a travelling squad list, but they do have a few injuries. Manzambi and Onana are definitely out. McGinn has just returned from injury, not sure whether he'll be ready. Bailey's still at home looking for a move. And Unai Emery also confirmed there'll be no Martinez, Watkins or Konsa, because they all went deep in the World Cup and he wants them to have a extended rest for the new season. I mean, the game is hard enough as it is without those three. Now, in terms of head-to-head, these two clubs have only ever met twice before, both legs of a 24-25 Champions League clash in the quarter-finals. PSG won 3-1 at home and then went 2-0 up at Villa Park. With the score 5-1 on aggregate, Villa nearly went on an amazing comeback. They dragged it back to 5-4. That also meant they won 3-2 on the night, but they couldn't find that fourth goal to level things up. No Manzambi stops the fun a bit, but it is still the first look at a brand new Villa in the post-Rodgers era. The opposition couldn't be tougher, but now Villa are in the Champions League. That's what they'll have to get used to. Villa were great last season, coming fourth in the Prem, meaning they would have made the Champions League even based on league position. It's the chance to make a huge statement against Europe's dominant club. It's a bigger game for Villa, who would love to win this trophy, than PSG, though PSG will understandably be the big favourites. Villa can definitely spring a surprise if they're up for it, but it's important not to read too much into it. Remember, PSG drew with Spurs in 90 minutes last time, but they had widely different fortunes in the long season that followed. So, how do people think this one's going to stack up? Firstly, how interested are you in it? The Super Cup is a sort of weird game. Um, it's interesting to watch, and it is the first meaningful football that we've seen in a while from any Prem team. But it has this weird sense of a friendly about it. If you're a Villa fan, do you care? Are you making the long trip to Salzburg? I'd be interested to see how people got there, because I think direct flights from Birmingham are really expensive. Maybe we've got some PSG fans. Are you interested in the trophy? The Super Cups seem to be cared about a bit more on the continent than here in England. And how do you think Villa will do without the likes of Tielemans, without Rodgers, without Digne now, but with their new look squad with Manzambi and João Gomes? To be honest, I think they'll be a bit worse, but their squad is ageing. So even if they're taking a hit in the short term, I think it's good they're getting some young players. You look at this generation, which has been amazing for Villa, really, really amazing, considering how far they've come. But it is aging, guys like McGinn and Watkins and Martinez in their 30s. So they do need young players like Manzambi to come through and have an orderly transition, not like Chelsea, who are going all in on youth, but to go to this new generation. And Unai Emery's been the man to lead that transition. So let's see how they do. But for now, that's all from me. Just a short video. See you for the next one after the result.